We're here with the guys from Techmaker. What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How's things, man?
Fantastic, thanks.
Yeah, life's good.
Okay, so just to give everybody a bit of a background, right? We've been working with Techmaker for quite a number of months, or almost actually since last year, in fact. We've been planning to build a hacker badge, right? For the conference, and that's been something that is almost all conferences have this hacker badge that you come to. You can build it, you can solder it, and it does some cool stuff. And so we got the guys from Techmaker here to tell us a little bit about this ultimate hacker badge that they've built. Do you guys have it with you? Because you're supposed to send us some samples, but it hasn't arrived, man. So I was hoping it'd be here and I can hold it up, but...
We do have the stuff.
Awesome! You guys want to talk a little...
We'll show in detail later.
Okay, cool. So, for the guys that are going to be coming over to Cyber Week later this year, this hacker badge was designed actually to be implemented across all our Hack in the Boxes. In the year we have 3 conferences, right? We do Amsterdam, and we do Singapore, and then we do Cyber Week. And so when we talked to the guys at Techmaker, the idea was to kind of come up with a generic badge that we could use across our events, but have different functionality. And so, accepting the challenge, the Techmaker guys actually went to work and came up with a fantastic design. Do you guys want to talk a bit about it? What you guys have built or the process that you guys used?
Sure, absolutely. So, first of all, the concept of this badge came to our head like a head plus a hat. So, the badge itself will be like a real, blurring.
Here you go.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you might...
It's white!
Yeah, you need something red or green or blue,
Yeah.
Colorful, so we can show it against.
Yeah, we need a backdrop.
Wow.
No, we can't.
No.
I think we can turn off the background for a second.
Yeah, turn off the background.
This badge just has the print on it. The stickers they put on the road signs so that the Tesla can see them. We have the same thing on our badge.
Okay, cool. I think the background is off, man. There we go.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So we came up with this idea that this would be the head, and then kind of in the process of thinking what the design would be, we came up with an idea, what if the head would have different hats on it? And so here we got the hat. And then, so the hat would be like an add-on board that could have different hardware on it that would extend the main badge and the main functionality.
So for the guys who are at home, right? Basically, the idea that we had was that the base badge that you guys are holding up now would act as you always have this badge with you, and then for each conference that you come, there's a hat that's issued per conference to add functionality to the badge, right? So you kind of have a base badge, and then you collect the hats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the base of the badge, the head itself, is actually a fully functional IoT hacking doll. So you can imagine products like Avast juice shop that has been used for a while for security trainings. But there was no such thing as IoT doll, as an IoT device that will teach you how to hack IoT devices in general. So the main idea of this badge is to use its microcontroller right here that features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, plenty of random access memory and flash memory to hold all that stuff. And we would like to create a firmware that will give you a challenge, or rather more than 10 challenges to compete. And all of them are based on the real world scenarios of IoT hacking. And by the way, we will also share our open source firmware for this head so that everyone could create maybe their own heads or create some other interesting, features. To do that, we've added few onboard touch buttons. There are 4 of them. There are also 2 round IPS displays, 240 pixels each of it. And right now I guess we can peel off this, this protective screen.
Peel it.
It's a pleasure, yeah. Taken for you.
Yeah, so this kind of displays you can find in smartwatches in the brand new ones. So it looks spectacular. It's 240 pixels and the colors are like super bright. Yeah, let's just plug it in.
Demo time, baby. Demo time. Whoa! Full color screen, bro.
Yeah.
So actually here I've connected a Type-C cable just to power it up. But you can also use a battery, a lithium battery right here. It's a typical
it's typical form factor 18650.
Okay.
They can find in many like home appliances and toys and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a regular lithium battery that can be easily charged, and we've included the charger on board as well. It's located over here. So in case you want to charge it, you can just plug in the battery and plug in USB, and the battery will get charged as well.
So this battery is like a fully autonomous device.
It's an automated self-hacking device.
Powered, it still can work with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and all the stuff on the head, and everything.
So in terms of like functionality, as in the base board itself, right? Like, what's the platform? I mean, like, what is it running off? Like, what's the chip that's on it?
So the chip is ESP32. It's actually a pretty popular chip for IoT devices. And right now, when we have shortages of all other chips, like STM32 and other that are mostly heavily used in automotive industry, we choose to go with ESP32, especially because many hobbies and embedded developers are familiar with it.
Yeah. One of the main pluses is that it has all the radio front end built in, and there is onboard antenna. So you can see this chip in like many wireless lighting or home appliances like weights and numerous
smart switches. For instance, there are devices for a couple of bucks that has an ability to turn on and off through Google Home application or other HomeKits application. So basically, this one is like iconic chip for IoT embedded development in general.
Yeah, it's not expensive and it has a lot of features built in, so that's cool. It's actually double core CPU, so it simultaneously can handle the wireless stacks and do some other stuff that we want to code in. And plenty of RAM, especially this version, it's a little bit longer. It includes another 8 megabytes of memory, so you can use it for like audio processing and storing some data, so
whatever you want.
Yeah.
So by default, right? As in when you guys started designing the badge, right? What's the process like? As in, from the time you sketch the idea to what you hope that it's going to have in terms of functionality. As in, can you walk us through your design process?
Yeah. So first of all, the first step is to design the design itself.
The graphical design is probably the starting point because it would define the outlook and everything. And then we try to incorporate different hardware in different design places. Like we came up with this idea of badge having the eyes as LCD displays. And
so after that, we started to think what kind of like a mask or contour of the badge should be to fit both displays as eyes. So especially for this design, displays came in the first place. And all other design was like, we need to feed those both displays. Nice. So yeah. And then, we produced for like more than 10 different designs, to choose from. Then we take like maybe 3 to 5 of them and share with you to choose from. And when we choose some specific design or maybe 2 of them, we start creating PCB. So it's a process of regarding design. It's like converting these sketches into suitable form to, you know, produce the PCB itself.
Yeah, because the design can be drawn fast, but then you need to think how to place all the components so they all fit, they don't interfere with each other and stuff. For example, there should be like this whole area should be blank so that the antenna can work perfectly. So it's the minimum area fits right above the eyes.
Right. So
the initial version of the badge had hat built in, so it was already the guy with the hat. And then it was, I swear it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. We were sitting and thinking back here in the lab. And then like out of nowhere came this idea that we can make a detachable head that would cover the eyes partially. Yeah. And then we were thinking, okay, how would we connect this thing? And at like 3 o'clock in the morning, another idea came. And we were like, okay, what if we use just the regular laptop RAM connector?
Right.
So the top of the head is exactly the same as your laptop RAM. And the head contains the regular slot that you just slide this thing in.
Right.
And it locks.
That's amazing. And,
yeah, just because it physically will be different, it makes the badge so much more spectacular. Like, let me just disconnect it so I show you how it's done. So just like you would do this in a normal laptop, you take your laptop and you insert the RAM.
Yeah.
So it's a simple gesture and you just lock it in.
Oh, that satisfying click, man.
Yeah. And there you go. It locks into the place and it looks beautiful.
Right? It looks amazing, dude.
Another thing, the hat now can intersect the displays, which adds another like 3D feature to the whole thing, making it look much better.
It looks amazing, dude. I have to say, like, you know, when we
now instead of making like new different badges, each with its own features, we can just swap the hats with different other stuff and keep one main board. So we were just, okay, let's put all into this idea and try to think how we would make this possible.
This is why it's the ultimate hacker badge, man. It's like you can do everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it only going to be the hat, or are you going to have like body parts as well? So you have your own mini robot, Mr. Robot.
Maybe next year we'll try to think how to extend it this way.
Exactly. You know, we will all walk around with a tag that starts here and ends at my belt.
Yeah. The only thing right now I can see is use the USB as the intro board connector, but it's not that reliable as this thing is. So we had a little concern about how firmly this would hold together, but this is like rock solid.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are no even a smallest hole between two boards and displays. They're like the whole single part without no moving.
No movement at all.
That's phenomenal, man. So in terms of like actually manufacturing it, right? Like where is it made? As in, like, I'm guessing it's made in China, right? But like, working with those manufacturers probably wasn't very easy, right? Communication.
Yeah, another challenge with the PCBs and electronics overall right now, because otherwise, apart from this badge, we do a lot of electronics like for our own company.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the chip shortages has affected everything. So I don't know if everybody is aware, but starting the spring of the last year, as long as everybody went into lockdowns, there was the surge in cars. So the manufacturers stopped manufacturing that many cars because people went home.
Yeah.
And then by the summer, the surge went all the way up. So everybody now started buying cars, and they don't have enough parts for it.
Right.
Factories have been closed for several months. So all the supply chain has been lagging behind. And ever since that, everything has become worse and worse and worse. For example, some of the microcontrollers and chips you won't get for probably another year or so.
Whoa.
So you go online for some huge distributors of components that might have like millions of parts, and you can get a single microcontroller, for example, of STM32 family, except for like some BGA parts that are super hard to solder. That's why they are less popular. But fortunately, ESP32 has been online ever since, and we still can do this. So we were changing the design, we were changing the hardware a couple of times, because by the time we finished the design of the board, all the traces, all the copper and everything, we go to the Chinese factory and order it, and now they say, okay, this component is out, and it's going to be out for another year, and this one is out. We're like, okay, what alternatives do we have? We search for alternatives, we replace them, then you need to modify the board. You come to the factory. So when they said first time, we don't have these components, we were like, okay, which ones do you have? And they give a list. So we pick the best, we change the board, we come 2 weeks later with the new components, and they say like, oh, sorry, these ones are out too. And this process keeps going and going. So because you need time to change the board, the only thing you can do is pay in advance to reserve the components.
Wow.
Or do your work insanely fast until the stuff gets out of stock.
Or you are just lucky.
Yeah.
Or you're just lucky. Yeah. So for Cyber
with
Week,
the badges, we got lucky, and apparently
at least for now.
Yeah, the components we chose right now still have super big stock, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Order it now.
Might need some like minor adjustments in some super small components, but overall it should stay the same. But we had some other projects we just had to freeze and put aside for another year because it's just impossible to get the components we need.
Yeah.
But with the badges, we got really lucky that everything we need is still available.
Quite lucky for us as well, I guess. Else we wouldn't have a badge, right? But for Cyber Week, like the hat functionality that you guys are going to be bringing, as in, can you talk a little bit about what people can expect? As in, if they come for the event and they buy the badge, we're going to I guess send them the hat, right?
Yeah. So let's be clear. We're not finalized, at least for now, our trainings. But what we expect to do is to share our knowledge of car hacking and suggest some hardware devices, hardware setups that will help newcomers to, deep dive into car hacking and, in general, this embedded development stuff. So we have for at least 2 or 3 years, our own hardware for car hacking, especially CAN bus sniffers. And we used to include those small chips that transmits the information, the data from the CAN bus to the microcontroller. We call them CAN bus transceivers in our devices, just in case if someone wants to start playing with CAN buses.
Yeah, there was even a joke. So any hardware Techmaker makes can always connect to the CAN bus.
Always CAN bus, right?
Yeah. So for that reason, our first test hat.
Our most obvious choice of hardware.
You can imagine it's actually a CAN bus sniffer. So
this hat is pretty basic. Here you would have the CAN bus transceiver and the wire connector, so you can easily plug it in and use it with your car, with your vehicle.
So what can I do with it? I mean, for example, if let's say I have a BMW, like a 3 Series BMW, what could I do with it if I have this CAN bus hat and this badge?
First of all, to be clear, this is a low-level connection between your laptop or your microcontroller and the vehicle. So what you can do, it is the same thing as you would ask what I can do if I plug my laptop into Ethernet.
Anything.
So it's the same. It's like a link between your laptop and the vehicle.
And it's so generally purposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, CAN buses are not only in automotive industry. There are also UAVs and drones, remote vehicles that are also leveraging CAN buses for their own purpose. So it's like a common bus that microcontroller uses to transmit the data between each other.
Okay.
So, and for that reason, when you develop such things, you need to somehow debug them. So that's why you need to somehow connect and see what is going on the CAN bus. And these components, these devices are actually a bridge between your software, between your tools, like laptop, and this actual vehicle or any other robot that uses.
So hang on. So you're telling me that this badge is not just like for fun and you can wear it around, but I can take it and go and like start hacking some cars with it as well.
Yeah, but let's define hack the cars.
Well, we do have a car hacking village.
Yeah, we do.
We should say that you can hack your own car.
Okay.
Otherwise it would be
Responsibly hack the things that you own. Okay, that's fine. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Responsible.
And in most countries, it's legal to.
Yeah, to play with your own vehicle. Yeah.
Okay.
But still, what do we call car hacking? First of all, the main issue or the main problem for automotive industry is that they try to integrate some new technologies like infotainment systems with remote access through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, network operators to their internal buses, including CAN bus. So that exposes a different attack vector, different attack surface that hackers might want to use to control fleets of vehicles. And for that reason, automotive industry tries to firewall connections between infotainment system and all other crucial parts of the vehicle. And this particular device that is actually a hardware firewall called security gateway. It includes several functions, including diagnostic of the vehicle, including firewalling different frames, or to put it simple, data that comes from infotainment system or should go or not go into internal CAN bus. And those small hardware firewalls, security gateways, are actually also devices that have their own vulnerabilities. And what we do, we try to find different vulnerabilities in such devices with pretty good success. So that's what we call car hacking. So we are making cars more secure by finding vulnerabilities in security gateways, especially.
And how much of that would that module, the head module, be able to achieve?
I can't say that you could do all kind of stuff with it because first of all you need to play with high bandwidth, high speed of CAN bus, especially on newest cars, especially when they are diagnosed with a laptop. So for that reason, it's not the best way to use ESP32 plus transceiver to collect all kind of the data. But still, it's good enough for at least 99% of cases when you need to connect to the CAN bus. So it should be more than enough for the most use cases.
Okay, so number one question, how do I get it? How do I get this badge, bro? How do I buy it?
Well, yours ones are already on the way.
Yeah,
so
okay. Never mind me.
I hope pretty soon.
General people.
Right now, we're finalizing all the changes we need for the production, for the main production version. So usually the process of making the hardware takes several iterations.
Yeah.
Because from my experience, I've done a lot of hardware boards and everything. From my experience, I never get them from the first time like 100% work. I get them like 99% working.
99.9.
Yeah, in my dreams. But there are several fixes we need to add. I mean, this badge is fully functional, but we want to improve it in several ways. So the main production version will have those small tweaks. And then we will mass produce like several hundreds of these badges. So
several thousands.
To the conference. Yeah.
So,
and this is only the first head that we have that connects to the CAN bus. Right now, we're already making another heads, so they are all available for adding to the main badge. And right now we have 2 other designs. Visually, it would look the same or almost the same, but it's all different in the hardware you have on this add-on.
Okay.
So one would be for environmental monitoring, mainly for indoor environmental monitoring. Like you can hang it on the wall and it will show you some data like temperature, pressure, humidity, like the basic stuff. And as well, we use the smart Bosch environmental sensor, the BME 680, which also allows you to show the percentage of organic gases that you have in your atmosphere.
It's a COVID detector.
How dirty is your air? Yeah, if you need to open the window or something.
That's amazing, man. So at Cyber Week in November, right? Like for the guys that are coming on site, I'm guessing they're going to be able to buy the badge, or they're going to get the badge for free, right? As in, it's going to be like you buy a conference ticket to get a badge. But for those that can't come, can they buy it online? Can they buy it through your website or something?
We plan to do so. Work in progress. But yeah, probably. The easiest way to do this is just by directly contacting us, and we will sort out. And I think we'll find a way to do that. But for general availability of such service, for now we're not ready. Maybe in November or maybe in October, but not for now. Yeah.
Okay. And so for like the other conference guys,
have like the backstock and other.
Yes.
Okay, so for like the other conference guys that are watching this particular stream, I'm like, man, I want a badge like that as well. I want the Hack in the Box badge with expendable hats. Like, can they contact you guys? And are you guys open to like, collaboration and working with other guys to make their own badge as well?
Sure. Everyone can contact us, especially on Discord. So yeah, it should be easy.
Awesome, and so yeah, guys, if you guys want like a cool expandable badge like the one that the Techmaker guys have made for us for Cyber Week, ping them on Twitter or follow them and message them, because it's cool, man. I mean, it's expandable. You can hack cars and shit, bro. Like, that's cool, man.
And that's only one hat.
Exactly, right? You can keep adding functionality to it. Don't have to keep buying new badges all the time. You buy the baseband badge, and then you add the hats to it as you go to different conferences, right? Like one badge to unite them all.
The second hat is the environmental thing, and the third one that we right now have in the works would be like the multimedia hat. It would have LEDs all over, which are colored. Like you can do some equalizer or discolize or whatever you want.
It's the DJ badge.
It would have a couple of microphones that would be hardware switchable. So if somebody has paranoia or something, they can switch off the power, and that would definitely cut them off. So nobody. But you control the firmware, so you definitely know where all the data is going to.
That's cool, man.
Hold on, cowboy. Hold on. I don't know why it came in 4 a.m. Yeah, you got it.
The best ideas are always born at 3 o'clock in the morning, man. That's usually when it happens, yeah. Anyway, hey, thank you guys so much for joining us. I've got like another 1 minute left. So basically for the guys who are watching at home, come to Cyber Week. If you can't come to Cyber Week, we're going to have a website where you can order this badge and you can play with it at home, and you get to participate even remotely. There are challenges in the badge. The badge can hack cars. It's going to have extra functionality on it. The hats are expandable. Basically, this is the ultimate hacker badge, man, right? Like, only can be made by Techmaker. That's the end of the story. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.
Yeah.